Hey guys, welcome to another episode of World of Unknown. I'm Danny,
I'm Trevor.
and today we're going to be talking about, well, it's everyone's talking about it lately, well, although may not lately, but the New Jersey drones. Yo guys, welcome back again here, another episode. Obviously we're touching on New Jersey drones, and I kind of paused there about everyone's talking about it because the past like week or two it's kind of died down a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was headlines for a good minute.
Right.
And nobody knew where these things were coming from. And then all of a sudden...
Very weird. And I didn't, you suggested this, and I didn't follow it too closely. And then when I started looking into it, it is very odd. And I get why people were getting, on the East Coast, were getting spooked out about it. I guess here in Vegas, we we're not seeing stuff like that. But
Yeah.
when you have to deal with that and people don't know what's going on, but before we start getting into all that, let's just jump into exactly what is going on with the New Jersey drones, man.
So I think like where we should go is like just basically what a drone is.
All right, yes. What is a drone, basically?
So we have... I mean, everyone's seen their little kid drone that's about this big.
Yes.
And they can fly it.
Kind of like a remote control, those little remote control. Yeah, but that's not it, right? These things can go up into...
No. Well, so you got these things where you got this little remote control, and then you have, I don't know if any of you have seen this. They race through like abandoned malls and stuff.
Yes.
And how quick these things are.
Yeah, they get pretty quick.
So those things you're getting up to like $9,000 to $10,000.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap hobby if you're getting really deep into it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have
And again, the hobbyist
those
ones,
are about that big.
yeah, the most about that big, right? They're
That
probably a little bit
big,
bigger
small.
stuff, but you're
They have a
paying for
VR
that.
headset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can do pretty cool stuff with that and everything. Yeah.
Then you go from that to like Amazon and Walmart. They're
Consumer
bringing
ones.
packages.
Yeah, so they're pretty big size.
They'd fit on this table pretty. I mean, like
Yeah, they're
maybe
probably like 2 to 3 feet, basically.
Yeah, I'd say 3
Like
feet.
wingspan, yeah,
3
exactly. Because
feet.
they got to carry
They
heavy
can hold
packages.
at least,
Yeah.
I think, 60 pounds, something
Okay,
like that.
that makes sense. They need them.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. I'm sure those are pretty penny too if you had to pay for those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking up probably 10 to 20 grand.
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
Yeah, these things are not cheap, exactly.
Yeah, and then you look at like the police have drones.
Yep.
Those get anywhere from 20 to 30 grand, and they have multiple different, like heat signature.
Yeah, they got
thermal,
a lot of bells
infrared.
and whistles, right?
Yeah.
And those can range from
20 to 30,000.
to 30 to
Probably.
okay.
Probably
Right.
a little bit more.
Kind of looked up a little bit, yeah, probably a little bit more,
Yeah, probably
around that
it matters
range,
what you
30,
get it
like
for.
20, 40, 50,000, depending on what
Yeah.
they're doing. And what,
And they're not slow. They're fast.
oh, yeah.
They're
right.
fast things,
Because they got to keep up with, like, so instead of using, like, lately, instead of using helicopters to follow,
They do
the
drones.
drivers, they do drones now. It's so
Yeah.
much easier and it's a lot safer for, you don't have them
And
actually.
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
And
a
most
lot
of the
cheaper,
times,
too, than a helicopter and stuff like that.
yeah, and you put a drone 2,000 feet above somebody,
Right.
they're not going to see it.
Also, like TV stations do that for traffic watch.
They're doing
They don't
drones
have to
too.
put they don't have to put the guy in the sky looking
Yeah.
over. He can just kind of fly it over, and it's a lot cheaper. And
I mean, even the Coast Guard's doing drones for looking out for sharks.
yeah, and it's so much exactly. It's a lot more feasible. It's still expensive, and normally a lot
it's-
more feasible than going helicopters and
Yeah.
people training and all that stuff. For pilots and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to have a drone pilot, but it's a lot easier than actual helicopters.
Yeah. So then you get from these to now we're going into the military.
Yeah,
We really haven't seen the capability of some of the military. Some of them are very
I'm
small.
sure they can do a lot. The firing missiles and all that.
Well,
kind
I
of.
saw one bomb a tank.
Yeah.
Take a takeout, and I don't know how big those are. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that thing had to be this big, loaded with, C4 or whatever it was hitting it with.
I saw a site a little bit that went over a bunch of, and there's a whole bunch. There's not just a whole bunch of different types of drones that, and you've seen the old school drones that look like little missiles with wings on it,
Yeah,
And
that's a
now,
drone too.
now they got like real ones, like you said, they're really thick. Now they look like real drones. Now these things
They're
are
like
massive.
like a fucking tank.
We
of a
don't know
drone.
exactly how big, like you said.
No, and then but you have the Reaper drones.
3 to 6 feet in diameter, and
Then you have a Reaper drone that's, I think they're 60 feet.
yeah, that's
wingspan.
crazy, right?
And they can stay up
And
for.
again, it's a drone
10
because
hours.
it's not manned. It's not
Nope,
manned.
it's
It's
a
remote.
guy sitting here in Vegas,
Yes. That's
manning it
technically a drone.
in Middle East.
Right, exactly. So
And bombing people there. So drones very very much range from things.
Exactly.
Some of the things I guarantee you we haven't seen and we won't see for a decade.
probably.
You know.
And so let's go over like the cost of obviously military drones are in the millions. Obviously.
Anything from I think we read it like 700,000 to 25 million, 35 million.
And so 700,000 is like one of their smallest, tiniest
Yeah,
ones
that's
that
probably
they
one
have.
of the bomb
right,
drones.
capabilities. Exactly.
Or that might
Never
be
know.
one of the ones that like you throw up and like a squad will throw up and
Yeah.
it'll hover and they can watch and see where the enemy is. And
like I said, we don't know the cost. I'm sure they think up to 500 million,
I'm
whatever. I'm
sure.
up there pretty high.
Because that's the new
'cause
technology.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, well, perfect thing is out here, Area 51, everyone thinks it's, aliens.
yeah.
It's actually drone tech that they're running out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just if you watch it, if you ever watch it, you'll see this thing stop, hover, do this, that,
Yeah.
dip out. That's drones.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just new drone tech that they're running.
Right, exactly.
So,
All right, cool. So then that's basically the overview of drones, what we're looking at, and which most people know, but sometimes some of this information you don't realize, because you got these sites over. So let's start off. So in about late September, around
November.
November
18th.
18th is when these people started noticing these things.
Yep.
I mean, so it could have been going on before then. It just wasn't
Yeah,
really
it
being
just-
reported as much, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I think November 18th was when all of a sudden people were reporting like 20, 30, 40, 50 drone sightings
Right.
a night.
And so that's what it was. It's not. I mean, obviously there's single drones, but there's a bunch like in clusters, and they're flying
Yeah.
together like in formations almost. But it's
Formations.
a weird, and then they're zipping.
Yeah. And-
Enough of a weird coincidence. People are like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Well,
those
and-
drones? Yeah, those are drones. What are they doing? Kind of.
Yeah, and you can go on I think FAA site and you can see what's legally registered and what's in the sky at the time. They have a whole map of it.
Right.
So the governor of New Jersey went on the site.
Yeah.
And because he was seeing these things, and I think
With all
he
these
said,
other sightings, and he's
Yeah.
seeing them too. And
I think he said that 2 of them were registered. He could plot it out for 2 of them, but there was like 15 of them that weren't, and he couldn't figure out where.
and these things were big. These are not like your small. First of all, and so when these things are being seen, is from dusk till about 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah,
So
and
they're nighttime.
Some of them are fixed wing, and they're as big as a school bus.
Right. And which, again, we're saying now something as big as a school bus, that's millions of dollars. So this is not some hobbyist unless you got unless you got a bunch of billionaire hobbyists just
could have
fucking
a-
around.
Yeah, you could have an Elon Musk
Which
that just
way?
was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck with people all day long. Let's just
You
see
know
where
what?
this
You
goes."
got so much money, nothing to do. Why not? You're just bored. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start screwing with people. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
let's just do a fleet of drones.
Yeah, watch this. I'm going to watch them fucking scream. Ah! Yeah, so there's a bunch of these things, which I think is what freaked people out because I know some people are making fun of them. Like, okay, especially it's hard to say especially when we live out here to make fun of them. Like, okay, well, we don't know. I'm sure they've seen drones, but when you see a bunch of them together night after night and doing
Yeah,
weird
and they're-
formations and as big as they are, I've never seen a drone that big.
I haven't seen them. I mean, well,
I've
that's
seen
a
them
Reaper drone.
right. That's what I mean. I mean,
You're
you see
looking at a
some-
Reaper drone now.
where you just see some kind of massive thing flying in the sky. Like, what
and
the
the
fuck is
other
that?
thing is they're coming in low, they're going up
Yes.
high, they're
So
in
these
the clouds,
people, these
and
things
then-
coming in like 50 to 100 feet above
yeah,
them. They're,
and this
they're
is
really close.
The good thing about what's happening now is there's so many people with really good cameras on their phones.
Yeah.
That we're getting footage.
Right.
And you can clearly see how big this thing is. You can see the light on it, the
Yeah.
propellers, you can see the fixed wings, you can see
And so, from my understanding, the regular drones have to have, and when you're flying a drone, you have to have clearance by the FAA. You got to have a license.
You
and
have a
everything.
license, you have to be
So
cleared
you
by
can't
the
just go. I mean,
FAA.
if you're a hobbyist, it's fine. It's the small ones, I
yeah,
think.
but if you're in a certain range,
You got to be licensed.
and
'cause you
they
can
have
get, you
to-
can get fined.
you have to have a tracker on it.
You have certain lights on it, like a
Yep.
red, green light, and everything. So these things that we're seeing, a lot of these didn't have that, right?
No, some
they
of
have.
them
It was
didn't.
unmarked. They didn't have what the FAA was supposed to.
No.
So we led to believe a lot of people think we're military. Well, so that's the crazy part. So when these reports are coming out, people are coming, and the
Yeah.
FBI and the DHS was the Department of Homeland. So they're like, well, this is not us. You know, all the military people are saying it's not them. I mean, who knows? So nobody's claiming that thing.
Well, so look at this is the thing. So it started November 18th.
Yep.
By November 22nd, FAA already temporarily restricted drone flight.
Okay,
That's how out of hand this got.
right. So
Real
I'm sure-
quick.
Yeah.
So right then and there, that tells you something that the FAA doesn't know what it is. They're trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to shut down drone flight, that's money to whoever's delivering with
Businesses,
drones.
yeah.
So that's
Amazon and any kind of people that use drones for business. Right?
Yeah,
You know,
and if
and
they-
law enforcement.
that's true. And if FAA stepped in, usually the military is going to alert the FAA.
Say, hey, that's true. This
If
is
you
us.
see some things or some things are going
Don't worry
on,
about
this
it.
is us. Don't worry about it. We got it.
Even if they say like, don't say it's us, the FAA is like, don't worry about it. We're studying it. You're right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't shut things down because again, not just hobbyists and businesses, law enforcement
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to really. I think it's
Fly
under
either.
special. Yeah,
Yep.
and from what I
Like
understand,
they
I
shut
thought I
down
read that
everything.
they didn't want anybody doing anything. So it was yeah, in all of these, it was like the total. It's like over 5,000 reports been come in. They did back up to say, well, 100 were like legitimately checked into.
Well, that's 100 that they looked into.
They looked into. So
out of 5,000. I mean, that's a
Exactly.
pretty good ratio for the government.
because they said, and basically they said out of this, the explanations were what now? Is basically the people are saying, well, what you're looking at is
So the
actual pilots. And it's funny when you
Helicopters,
read it, helicopters,
planes.
they say fixed man wing aircrafts.
so it could be a glider.
Well, I'm looking like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? It's basically a commercial flight. I'm like, I just say regular airplane.
Yeah, but it could be a guy with a glider.
Yeah.
But have you seen how slow that goes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not
These things are zipping in and out.
right, and they're
There's-
doing this and that.
Yeah. They said
Stars.
A star.
So,
Which,
you-
all right, I'll give you one. You might have a shooting star, and some idiot thought it was a drone. I don't know how.
Right.
If you've ever seen a shooting
so
star.
if you shoot there, it just does this, and you're gonna freak out and call.
And it gets
maybe.
real bright real quick,
You might have one or
and
two
then-
people doing that, and maybe. Okay, you might have a few people who see a regular airplane, but there are some actual legitimate people, military, law enforcement. New Jersey police saw stuff.
The governor came out.
Coast Guard were seeing stuff.
Yep.
That came. And-
The Picatinny Arsenal over in Morris County.
yeah,
they shut flight down
the
over November 25th.
So it's not just New Jersey. And the thing spread out. The Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio saw
Yep.
stuff, and they shut down for 4 hours.
So this is going from New Jersey, New York,
check into it.
Maryland, Pennsylvania,
Now,
Ohio.
these bases always say, well, they always have stuff that fly over that we have to check into. I go, I know we do, but we don't hear about it, and you guys shut down for 4
Wow.
hours.
So this is one of the other things.
Airports are shutting down too, just to kind of go over.
So America's a little weird. I think they shut it down finally, but China was buying a lot of land around the bases,
Yeah, why are you letting
and
them
they
do
were
that?
allowing them.
Yes,
So I don't know. Maybe this is a consequence of it.
maybe if it's coming from them. Yeah,
Could be, because I don't think they shut it down right away. I don't know if they made them give the land back. I don't know the whole deal.
Yeah.
All I know is China did buy a lot of land near very strategic Air Force bases and military installations. Maybe we're seeing some things. Because have you seen the drone stuff in China when they do the dragons in the sky and like?
yes, yeah. That thing's
They
kinda
have
cool.
some amazing technology over there.
right.
Very well could be.
I mean, it could be
I don't know. This is millions and millions of dollars going into this though.
right. And another thing we should say is like no other countries are claiming. There was a senator, a Republican senator from I forget where, he was claiming that it was
It
from
was-
Iran. We were saying, well, no, that's not true. He's like, well, I have it from very good. Pentagon's like, that's not true. And he's like, no, I have a very good source. Although I didn't hear what the source was.
Governor of New Jersey. No, not New Jersey. Congressman, Maryland. No,
One of these and one of those main. And I said it's political parties, so it's not just one side or the other. Both. Even
New Jersey congressman claims that they were sent by Iran.
just even both sides of it, the political, if people think it's political, both sides political parties are claiming like, hey, let's shoot this down, what the hell's going on? So everybody is
you have
concerned.
the governor of New Jersey saying if you see some things start popping
down,
off at it. Well, this is the one thing that I didn't get. So I don't know. There was a car crash near a campus in New Jersey campus,
Okay.
the college campus. The helicopter was trying to fly in to get the victim out.
Okay.
And one of these drones stopped the helicopter from being able to do that. The helicopter had to abandon the mission. I think they ended up getting them out in a ambulance. I don't know what happened to the person.
Yeah.
But that's weird that it was so bad that the helicopter had to divert from getting a victim.
Really. That is weird. Because you would think if it was like a law enforcement or like a news thing, they would move out of the way for the helicopter. Military.
They're not going to get in the way of that.
Right. So, yeah. And that's weird. And there's other sites about coming from the ocean. Someone thought they come from the ocean, which is a weird one.
Yeah. They said thousands of them were coming from the ocean.
Yeah, and so
hundreds
basically
of
they
them.
were thinking, well, maybe there's a mothership. Basically, there's a point where they're landing and setting off. So
I'm
you have to be a
thinking there
boat,
might be a boat out there.
maybe a boat out there.
But wouldn't the Coast Guard see it?
Yeah, you think the Coast Guard would be all over there, right?
Unless it was stealth technology.
So speaking of the Coast Guard, there was another story about Coast Guard people seeing these few. There was a bunch of drones following this boat the whole time. They were trying to lose it, but it keep up with them easily, right? And the Coast Guard thing was
boat
jamming.
can only go. Yeah.
So someone came out and when looking into it, one governmental thing, FBI or whoever it is, DHS, Homeland Security said, well, what they were seeing is just it was the airport from nearby and probably stars, and these Coast Guard people are like, no.
Dude,
No, it's not. It what it was drones. The thing is 100 feet from us. I cannot
Okay.
mistake that for a fucking airplane. It's
I'm
what-
sorry, but you're looking at the United States Coast Guard, which I get the military doesn't give them a lot of respect until
Yeah.
they rescue their ass.
Right, exactly.
These men and women go into some of the worst fucking conditions possible.
You would think they would know.
They've seen everything.
Helicopters
they've seen everything on the water.
And I'm pretty sure they check their sources about any kind of planes in that
They
area.
know every
Like, these things are
FAA
following us. These things are very weird. They're not. It's a bunch of them. It's formations that.
I'm not believing anything about that.
With the cops seeing, you think the cops would know what an airplane in New Jersey would look like to come in, or they would know what a fucking star is, or a helicopter, or whatever.
Yeah. So the thing with New Jersey, I guess the cops got permission to try to chase these things down.
Yeah. Well,
And
good
they
luck.
got really good drones. Like they
Yeah.
have the industrial grade $30,000 drones.
Right.
Thermal, everything.
Not gonna touch
They
these
shot
things.
these things up.
Yep.
They couldn't keep up with them.
Yeah.
They couldn't find They couldn't find a heat signature at all.
Yeah.
So they don't know. And usually a drone is putting out some type of heat because it gets hot with the rotors and everything.
Yeah.
They can't figure out why they can't find a heat signature on these things.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Which
do.
is a whole nother thing.
Well, that's the other thing. They have ways to track these drones. Like you said, they have seat signatures. They have like radio things on them where they can track them.
They can track
so
them.
the FAA
they can't keep up with them.
Well, I mean, from understanding, they couldn't even really track these things with the stuff the FAA is supposed to have. They we can't even.
No.
We don't know where these are coming from. That's why they're like, we don't know because we don't have it doesn't have the normal stuff on it for them to be able to track it. It doesn't have heat signatures on it. A lot of these things don't even have noise. Usually, a drone has a little bit of a noise to it.
No, there's some of the videos that you watch that you can clearly hear propellers.
Right.
You can hear that humming.
Right.
It's really loud in some of them, especially when there's multiple drones in the air.
Right.
But even then, some other videos you can't hear a thing.
Yeah, there's
so
some that
I'm
don't-
almost thinking, but you see different sizes
Yes.
of drones.
So some of them are like extra.
So I'm wondering if those big boys that are like the size of a car or a bus
making
are the ones making that noise.
possibly, yeah,
And then the smaller ones.
are making
Yeah.
So even if some are not making noise, I mean, and you got people. One lady said she saw a bunch formation going over, and night after night, and then one time she saw one of our military jet planes kind of going after it, like following it, trying to chase
See
it.
where it was.
She saw where it was going. So we got all these different stories and some of these pictures, but again, it's just these stories from people who are saying, who don't, especially the ones that don't have it. But there's enough there. And it could be just like a media frenzy thing. Well, of course. I mean, it
But
could
there
happen.
was a commercial airliner pilot that
Right.
filmed them outside the window, and it was a whole swarm of like 100 to 200
Right.
drones
There's
sitting
enough
in
there
the clouds.
from the cops, from the military, from the Coast Guard. Other military people. They go military stuff. The military base is like, we'll take care of that stuff. Don't worry about those stories. We'll look into that stuff. So obviously not going to tell us.
But also, so we have FBI, Homeland, we have the military looking into it. Supposedly,
Pentagon is answering into it.
state officials and state agencies are looking into it. Every single one of them doesn't know what's going on, and they also say that it's not a threat to the security of the nation.
Right. And then which reporters are like, well, how can you say it's not a threat if you don't know what the hell it is or who it is? And
Or
they're
they
like, well,
do.
as far as we know, we don't. And that's their statement. As far as we don't know who or what it is, but we feel it's not a threat to to the
Which-
country or safety of our citizens.
My thing is, I think then they know where it's coming from.
Yeah. Right.
They just don't want to tell us.
There was a senator in New Jersey. He's like, stop telling us it's okay if you don't know what the hell it is.
Dude,
Stop saying that. Stop
he
saying
was-
it's not to fucking worry.
That dude is losing
I'm right.
it.
Oh, I don't blame him because like, we get family that live here. Stop telling us.
Well,
Tell
his-
us what the hell it
Yeah.
is.
And
Right.
his thing is like those things they're noisy.
Yeah,
And
right.
he's going, dude, every night we're having, people are seeing one
So is
person
that,
will see
right.
50 of them.
So yeah, and you even have like big senators and politicians seeing this stuff. So there's something there. And
I think someone shot one down too. I didn't hear anything about
I
it.
saw a little
though.
bit of report about that happening too, but I couldn't get exactly what it was.
And I heard nothing about it afterwards.
Yeah. Let me fire up my thing here.
But so I'm like, you're getting all these sightings. You're getting the FAA shutting things down until January 17th.
Right.
Apparently they went over Trump's golf course or
At
something,
Bedminster,
which
yeah.
I don't really give a shit.
No, but it is an area where it is a little.
But is he playing there?
Yeah,
or is he at
exactly.
Mar-a-Lago?
Right. That could have been, but they just said, some of the stuff could just be regular drones possible. Well, no, because everything, didn't the FAA shut everything down now? So
yeah. Oh, this is another one.
New Jersey kind of shut airspace down until
The
the
mayor
18th.
of New Jersey links. They threw up a link saying that these drone sightings could be a link to the radioactive material that went missing. Which I didn't hear anything about
Me
that.
neither. So that brings up an interesting thing. if these drones are a red herring, basically a distraction, and that would be a good one about
And he's being a whistleblower now, saying, "Hey, you know, we have some radioactive material that just
went missing.
Did you hear anything about that?
No,
I didn't hear anything about that either.
So maybe that's what they're looking for.
That's kind of a thing,
and that's the area that it could be in.
I mean, that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing at all. So
they're really close-lipped with radioactive material.
Oh
too.
yeah, because you don't need that getting out.
Have you ever seen when they transport it through here?
No.
They have a semi truck.
We're in Vegas again.
Yeah, so in Vegas we have waste disposal out in the desert.
Yeah.
What people started freaking out and they're going, well, you're going down the I-15 with this.
Yeah.
What happens if a terrorist attack? Well,
or what if it crashes? What happens if something?
Well, so the crash thing, I don't know, but I did see how they surround this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the semi, you have up to 8 cars that look normal with 4 armed military guards in each one.
They're making sure every precaution.
Ready.
Yeah.
And they're all armored. They're all ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't allow a car to come in. They don't allow anyone to get near this thing, but you would never know.
Right. What if, did they ever account for the Fast and Furious guys coming up? Because those guys can get through that. And apparently they can fucking fly in cars.
I'm sure they Tokyo drift through.
Sorry.
Snatch it.
Take that off the
Tokyo
rails there.
drift out. And then rocket ship into space.
Exactly, right. Yeah, so that's right. And so they take every precaution. So let's go over again about what the settings are. They've been everywhere, right? So
mainly in
think
New
about
Jersey,
the
though.
Yeah. So say it's the radioactive thing. It got stolen, and they have reason to believe it's in that area. But
but what radioactive though?
I don't know.
3 Mile Island?
It could be for anywhere. A lot of these places. It didn't even mean that it was taken from there. It could be
was
taken
just a
near
storage facility, or maybe somewhere near it.
Maybe, and they had reason to believe it's in that area, and they go over to Patterson Air Force Base. So they go, you know what? Let's hit some of the other bases in case someone's
They
trying
can
to
spot it,
or they're trying to put it there. They're trying to leak it. I don't know, because it was down over in California, down the bases over there.
They're going Pennsylvania, Maryland,
all the way to the England, the Royal Air Force Base in Germany,
Arizona.
I mean, so they're hitting all these bases and stuff. These drones.
Surprisingly, they're not coming over here though.
Yeah, well, maybe they don't have reason for that. Maybe they have,
or we're just too drunk to realize it.
Yeah. We do have we're the city of lights, so maybe it's a little tougher, or maybe it's
Oh, I bet a drone could fly right through that fucking sphere and we'd never see it.
Right, probably.
It's so bright.
Exactly. So, maybe stuff is going on in here, and we just take it up. And we do have, every city has a lot of planes, but we do have a shitload of planes. But again, these things are not supposed to be that high. These things are supposed to be pretty low.
Yeah, but I've taken my girl out stargazing a bunch of times. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, I'm pretty sure somebody was saying, especially after all this craze going on. So that's a good, one of our things is like, what if this is
been over in Russia?
What if this is a distraction?
They've been in Indonesia.
So, and that was just a case of distraction from, of not what the drones are doing, but maybe we'll get into that later. We'll jump to that later. All right, let's go over now that the kind of everything. The drone craze has kind of died down, but you said people are still seeing it. They're still being reported.
Yeah, it's still
just the
very
media
relevant.
kind of bored of it because everybody's tight-lipped. They're like, well, we don't know what it is, so stop asking us.
I don't know, because I was watching live footage on 5 different news networks on YouTube.
Right.
It was live, and they were doing, it was like 5 hours, 7 hours long.
Well, maybe just on our West Coast, maybe not in the main hot areas like New Jersey.
This is also the big thing. On the West Coast, we have a raging fire that's about to take out LA.
Yeah.
So at this time, that's dominating our news right now.
Exactly. And
but
in general, yeah. So
everything goes out. My prayers go out to those people.
There is a couple sites. There was one site I went on. Some guy was just kind of making fun of everybody with these drone stuff. Like, these are just regular drones. People are seeing wrong thing. I'm like, dude,
they're not.
No.
Nope. They're definitely not.
This guy calls himself a drone expert.
This is also another thing. There's some videos of some of the drones being shot out of the sky by like orb-looking things.
Right.
And I'm not taking to heart anything this guy said. I don't know who this. It was some military guy.
Yeah.
With pink eye, and he was sitting in his car, and he was like, "The drones are ours," but the orbs aren't.
Right.
He said the orbs were alien, and the drones were being shot out of the sky by these alien orbs.
It always goes back to aliens, huh?
I'm not taking that. Now, okay, this is what I will say. I was talking to you about this.
Yeah.
What if the drones are an answer to aliens probing around a military installation that they're not supposed to be around.
Right.
And this is our answer to like net the sky.
Yes.
So that we can run into them or
flooded.
something.
So maybe so you're saying Bailey, maybe the military or the DHS, whatever, noticed that there were weird UAPs, unidentified area,
Very
or
well could
UFOs, whatever, going in certain areas, and they're like, you know what, we don't need the public getting all freaked out about this. Let's just flood it with our military drones. Just say it's us,
And
or don't say it's
study
us. Just flood it, and then we're like, we don't know, it's just a bunch of drones. You know?
And they're trying to contact it, study it. Maybe they're trying to deter whatever.
Just distract us from the actual UFOs.
Yeah, because like I mean, Israel has the Iron Dome with that missile thing.
Yeah.
This could be a type of
right,
a disruption.
right.
You throw up 1,000 drones a night, something's gonna run into one of them.
Right.
And there's videos of them getting shot down by things that we can't understand.
Right. So as far as these drones, and explanations, like hobbyists, we're going over again. These are not small drones. These are big, and it's not just one or two. These are like a bunch.
No, there's about 1,000 a night.
There's like 1,000 a night. They're saying there's anywhere from, I forget the amount, from like 6 to 92 sightings a night. And the sightings, not drones, just sightings of drones.
Some
like
of them you didn't
drones.
see.
Some are a bunch, and they're going around. They're outflying anything else that the law enforcement's trying to go in on them. These are souped up stuff. So if it was like a group of hobbyists, these guys it would be a bunch of people that have a shitload of money to do it, and for what?
And they're bored.
And they're bored for what though? And Elon Musk and Bill Gates are just fucking around having fun.
Elon's.
That would just account for a few of them. I mean, these are a bunch, man. So
unless it was a test flight,
right?
Many?
many?
What if it was a private military company?
What if it's a contract? I don't want to say mercenary, but just a
no. But they have private military contract companies that come in and they'll either do weapons or they'll do.
So here's the thing about it. I guess we can start going into let's go on about the explanations of the stuff and why this makes the story especially weird. Okay, now obviously you have the military not saying it's them, and you have a bunch of people saying other countries not them. So what if it was like us? And what are we doing? Why are we flying the stuff where people can see them and keep doing it when it's causing a big rage? I mean, what is the purpose of that? So if it's another country, say exactly, and they're trying to spy on us, they're doing a piss poor job of it, and they kept doing it over and over again after we knew what they were doing. So that doesn't make sense to me.
Or they're testing how we're reacting to it.
Right. Yes. Testing for that long, though?
It's only, technically, it's like a little over a month.
It's still a long time. Or our military. They're testing what? It's just very weird. I mean, testing.
They might test what our reaction is going to be. So let's say that we're not really reacting to this. The military didn't take it serious at first. So then all of a sudden they put up drones with lethal weapons on it with the same technology where we can't see it, and they can strike.
I don't know.
That's the thing.
The amount of sightings and the amount of people talking about it, the amount of stuff going on, it's very weird testing to do. I get the testing, but it doesn't line up. To me, it doesn't line up of testing for something. It is, I don't know what it is. That's what makes it such a weird, compelling story.
Or is the U.S. military.
Right. But what are they doing?
Dicking around.
That much? I mean, it's weird. I mean, how much what could it be? Because they're huge. They've got to be military.
You also got to look at it this way. During Project Blue Book, it was, World War II veterans that just came home?
Yeah.
And they were all looking for work, and they were all looking for things to do, right? Right now, we just had the drawdown in Iraq. Mm-hmm. Over 21 years of fighting.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of people, a lot of military installations that have nothing to do.
Right.
So now they're going to be testing things that they could have tested, but they were in a war.
I get that, but the testing, to me, the testing doesn't make sense. It really does not.
It wouldn't be the first time that they mess with people.
Right. And again, messing with people with me would be maybe a week or two, but when this thing gets to such a fervor, they would stop. And supposedly it really has not stopped.
No, actually,
that's why I'm saying that doesn't make sense. Right. That doesn't make any sense. Now, could it be, obviously military is always doing stuff, so it could be a sect of military that people are like, I don't know, the military guy's like, I don't know what the hell this is, and it is like another, sometimes the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, whatever it is, or maybe they do know what it is. It doesn't make sense. Whoever or whatever is doing this, what they're doing and why they're doing it, and they keep doing it.
Yeah, true.
Because again, it's not hobbyist. This is a serious reconnaissance or a serious operation that keeps going and right out in the middle. it almost doesn't make sense why they don't do it in daylight, but maybe they are trying to test something, but they keep doing it. It's weird.
Well, I mean,
and it caused this much of a.
I had my little theory that the New Jersey governor pissed somebody in the military off, and this is the consequence.
This is the consequence, but that doesn't explain the other one. But yes, exactly, right.
He's at the point now where he's so frustrated. He's like, just shoot him down.
Now, as far as the other, outside of New Jersey, other. Adverse the
Maryland,
Patterson,
Pennsylvania,
the Utah one. Those could be just regular stuff, going on, because I don't know if that's still going on. We haven't heard any, I haven't looked into it and everything. But as far as the New Jersey thing, it is, that's what makes it weird to me.
Arizona's weird.
The size of these things and how fast they are and the capabilities they've been showing. Not that they've been showing anything like malicious for the most part, other than flying over Air Force bases.
They've been showing
capabilities of being very powerful.
Yeah,
drones.
I mean, some people were saying
we talked
that
about
they're
millions of
hopping.
dollars each.
Yeah, and then some people said that they see him hop from one point, like we see in the Tic Tac video, or it was there and it dropped down in seconds, and they're seeing things like that.
So we've seen these things, and these things are the size of an SUV or thing, and that thing's
and bigger.
25 million on, I mean, this is not just some simple hobbyist doing this.
No.
Especially it's not just one. There's a bunch. Everyone keeps thinking, well, it could be. I go, guys, remember, it's not one. There's a bunch of them every night. All over, there's watching.
You do have those Middle Eastern sheiks that are very, very rich.
Yeah. And they're doing stuff to fun. Okay, but then there's a whole bunch of them that they do. There's a bunch of sheiks that have money tied to it.
I mean, in the $1 trillion range.
So they're doing this just for shits and giggles, and the more
that's all they do.
The more chaos it's so in, they're laughing and they keep doing it more, and they can't catch us.
Because also look, when you look at the Saudi Arabia people,
that makes more sense than anything else I've ever heard about. Just a bunch of rich.
This is my thing with Saudi Arabia. They were supposed to be helping United States, but they were also funding terrorists.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just throw money where they want to.
They got too much money they don't know what to do with.
They're little kids playing with toys, and this is what it is.
Kind of reminds me of the story of, I'm sure in every big town, but in the L.A., they supposedly have these group of souped-up cars that every morning fly down the freeway, and the cops can never get them because these are too fucking fast.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. And there's stories about, I don't know if it happens every morning, but there's a few times these things are going, like early in the morning when there's barely anyone thing, these things are just... like 150, just
150.
Then nobody can catch them. It's just rich boys and rich people with nothing else better to do. Because they can. I mean, but what's sad? That makes more sense than anything else, military and anything. Just of what's going on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't. It could be military, but it's just funny. It's like, what are they doing then? It's almost more eerie if it's whether it be our military or somebody else. It's like, why they keep doing this and why they're not trying to hide themselves. Obviously, they said some of these things don't have lights, but people are obviously looking at them because they're low and they're low enough that people are like, well, what the fuck is that?
These things drop to. I think I saw one video, it was like 25 feet above these people.
Right, exactly, and that's why these sites. So bringing up the explanation that the DHS, the Homeland Security, the FBI, the Pentagon, FAA saying like, well, it's just stars or manned flights or helicopters. Okay. This sounds eerily a lot like
Project Blue Book.
Project Blue Book.
Yes.
Now, there's a last episode of Project Blue Book we wanted to redo again, but it's exactly what Project Blue Book was explaining a lot of the sightings of UFOs as people were seeing.
The government shut it down.
They're just shutting down. It's like, would you go look at it? It's stars, it's planes, it's all this stuff. They're trying to explain away.
It was gas in the atmosphere. And that's
again, remember, there was like thousands of sightings, but there was only like 200 that are verifiable that we couldn't understand. And that's right. So it's so close to that. It's eerily close to what Project Blue Book had explanation of what it was, just to explain it away. And we know,
a very modern day.
And looking back into that, a lot of those people didn't want to be there, and they're just trying to explain it away. So we shut the hell up in the public. Like, just shut up. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And meanwhile, they do have the other group that's really looking into it. So I'm sure if they don't really know what it is, I'm sure there's other people looking into it, and they're not going to tell us what they find.
I mean, Trump came out saying he knows exactly what it is, and they know what it is, and the office knows what it is.
Right, exactly.
Which, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if we have so many branches of this government that
exactly.
And agencies, I'm sure they know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
And they go, well, it's not a threat. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
They're not going to do anything to us.
But you got like actual political senators and House, in New Jersey, and governors and mayors are freaked out because they're like, well, what the fuck is this, man? This is very fucking weird. But I'm just saying, they don't know. You get people up that high.
But
that
they've
don't
done that
know.
before.
And I'm not saying
If you don't have the clearance for it.
Exactly right. You don't have exactly right.
They're
You
like,
don't
oh,
have the clearance for it.
is that guy's freaking out? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
freak him out some more.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
Let's have some fun
we
with it
don't
now.
care. Exactly.
Yeah, we don't give a shit if
Senator of lunch, whatever.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we don't care if you're trying to sleep and you
By
hear drones.
our ass. That's right.
Yeah.
World of Unknown. Oh, we'll tell you guys. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys know, please. If you're a high-ranking official, please tell us.
Just don't show up and take us away, please.
No.
I don't want to disappear.
No,
I just got engaged.
Exactly. So, yeah, congratulations, buddy. There we go. So, what do we exactly? I mean,
Well, I remember when I brought this up to you. You had a thing about you kept hearing it was aliens,
yes,
and the more we looked into it, the less alien it got.
right. But again, I always say it always goes back to aliens and stuff. Yeah, that one guy with the orbs, aliens and stuff. It just seems sometimes anything we get, anything that's unexplainable, we always go back to aliens. Which you know what? I get it. I love you, alien people. You guys are consistent, and you are not going to stop. And not that I disagree with you guys. There's some stuff out there, but this one, I don't know why the alien thing got brought up. I really don't. First of all,
I'm thinking more. It's definitely man.
Aliens are not going to use drones. You know, they have their own
especially
drones
drones that we can see
that
very
look like the
clearly.
ones we have. Basically, could it be from alien tech that these drones are being built? Sure,
Very well could
Why
be.
not? That could be it. I don't think aliens wouldn't be that blatant. They'd never seem to be that blatant for so many days. They've been out and you can see them.
I mean, what was the biggest thing we've seen was with the Phoenix Lights,
Phoenix Lights, yeah.
and that was in 2 different locations.
Yeah. And that was over one night or 2 nights, and that was it. And it was
Yeah.
like briefly. I don't know.
And then they shut it down.
It does not seem alien. This is definitely
And they didn't get close at all with those.
some entity here, whether it be.
I'm thinking it's private contractor.
I'm thinking more it's right, private contractor or our branch of a military that they don't want to tell us.
Yeah, and they're just running tests.
The weird, but the testing is weird. It really bugs me, this testing. I do like your explanation of just rich, maybe it doesn't have to be Saudi princes. That
It could be some
We're just trying to think of people who have a
oligarch.
bunch of excess money, and we know like the Saudi prince means to have like a
Multi-billionaire,
We know we've heard stories of guys having so much money they don't know what to do with. I mean, that would make more sense of the bunch of the guys getting together and just fucking around and like, look, everybody's freaking out. Just keep doing it.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Maybe Maybe the first time they were testing it out and they realized people freaked out and they just kept doing it and doing it. And
And I'm wondering if the government found out
We
who
can't
they
catch
were,
'em.
and
Yeah.
they just went. They probably gave them a phone call. They're like, I'm giving you till January 17th to have your fun.
yeah, and stop.
then we're gonna-
like, we were just
we'll
testing. You
stop
guys
you.
were into. We just thought it was funny. And
Could be
yeah.
a tech company. for
Could
all
be
we
a term.
know.
Yeah, and it's just weird
Running
that
program.
But you would think if it was a tech company, they would have kind of made them shut that down.
There's military tech companies though.
Military tech, yeah, that's true. Someone that is so high up with so much money or so much clearance that they can get over the whole, bypass a lot of law enforcement stuff,
Yeah, and they just made it
unfortunately
very
above the
known.
law.
Well, and
there are
I
tons
mean,
of entities and people above the law, unfortunately.
Usually you test this shit out like in the middle of the desert where no one's.
Yeah,
But they just decided to do this over New
They said,
Jersey.
fuck that.
and
Want
New
to do
York.
that? Maybe they had a reason they wanted to be able to, surveillance stuff or look at stuff like, oh, look,
Very
we
well
can
could
hear.
be.
Look, we can get underground on this day. We can look at see people's basement. We can see this underground base. Oh, look, let's go to the Air Force base. Like, oh, look, you can see everything. Maybe doing that.
What if they do have the technology to be able to like X-ray through people, and they're looking for a bomber?
Maybe, yeah. Again,
because we did have all these terrorist things happen. Remember the one in
and that could be the distraction. Like, we're not telling you to look, but we're looking for somebody that has something. Like you said, the radioactive waste, a
Usually
bomber.
it comes in threes.
Terrorist people. And they don't want to tell us because they don't want to alert us that
And they
there's
just don't give a
an
shit.
actually an active terrorist or group of people,
trying
terrorist
to make
people.
some nuclear bomb or something in the
Maybe.
basement.
And they believe it's in this area, and then they're checking other bases in case they're in that area. They can check.
very well could be.
That would be more explainable too, and why they keep doing it.
And they're not saying a goddamn thing about it.
No.
They're just
And it makes
well,
sense.
You just deal with it
Right.
until we're done.
And that'd be acceptable. Okay.
And that would make sense why the FAA just shut down almost all flight.
Yeah, let's just gonna do
Because
this.
now you
Have
got
our
free reign.
exactly. Hey, that's very acceptable explanation to me, and that would make sense. And later on, years down the line, like this is what it was.
Yeah, they come out and they go, "This is what we were looking for."
If anything, it just definitely caused a chaotic fervor
Stir.
online and big stir. It would. It is scary. We don't know, especially when you're people you look up to, whether it be your main politicians, your law enforcement, your military people are like, I don't know this. No.
Well, we learned that in COVID.
It's like when you're a little kid and you hear scratching in your closet. And you ask your dad, "What is that?" And your dad's like, "I don't know, but
I don't know. Yeah, I
good
think
luck
you
with
got
it.
a-
I'll see
you
you
got a
later.
rat."
Bye."
Yeah. I left
Good
a
luck
rat
with
in
it.
the closet.
Exactly. Could it be a rat or could it be the boogeyman? But I don't know. I'll see you later. Bye.
I just like how I just love how like the New Jersey governor's like just shoot it down.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you start
yeah.
seeing it, fucking shoot them down.
I get it, man. We didn't have to deal with it. We don't do it, and I would get it's scary, man. You see this thing. Again, we're thinking of a small little fun drone, maybe even like this. These things are fucking huge, man.
These things are they're
That's
no
scary.
joke.
You're like, what? You could probably fit like 6 or 7 people in the damn thing. Fuck it. That's spooky.
You could
What kind of
definitely fit
damage
some.
could that thing do? What is that thing holding? You don't know. There's little
Or
missiles
if that thing crashed into a
bombs.
house,
Right, and they could get those things are actually big enough, but
they can make
an
some
SUV crashing into your
serious-
house,
Yeah,
it
that can make
it's going
some
to kill
serious
some people.
wreckage. And it has
Or they have weapons on them. They don't know. That's just it. We don't know what the weapons. So,
well, and you're also talking about jet fuel.
right, jet fuel.
That's no joke.
So that's what I'm guessing too. It's not really an outside the country entity. It could be part of us.
Yeah, but they're doing it also in Russia and Indonesia and
Yeah.
and England and
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they think that's where someone took off to.
Yeah.
A lot of people hide in Indonesia.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. They do.
So I don't know, but it was just I thought it was a very interesting story to look into.
It is, and it's still an ongoing story. Maybe we won't have answers until years down the line, or maybe we never will.
Yeah, or maybe they figured out, and we can do another episode saying, "Hey, we got this all wrong, and this is what it was."
We say the world of unknown guys figured it out. It was, there's a bunch of billionaire Saudi people that are just fucking around.
They were
and
bored.
Thought it was funny to get us up all chaotic and up in a fervor. I like saying the word fervor.
Fervor.
That's the word of the day.
Fervor.
Word of the day is fervor. Sorry.
Say it again.
Right. Fervor.
Ooh.
So, guys, why don't you guys write in, tell us what you think, text us.
Yeah. If you got conspiracy
Type it
theories
in.
on this, please.
Yeah, exactly. Going on.
Chime
If you,
in, man.
you guys think it's UFOs? Give us some more evidence about what you think a UFO could
But I
be.
want evidence, though.
We want a live
Yeah.
alien body.
I want to see an alien falling out of this thing.
I don't want your old nana you dug up and you put a mask on. Don't do that, please.
I did see a very funny video of a guy. It was on, I think, TikTok. And it was like, thank God I wasn't outside. The dog scared it away. And it was like an alien in a trash, like, the plastic tarp.
Yeah.
It fell down on this guy's back patio.
Yeah.
I don't know how this guy did it. It was hilarious. And the alien, like, gets up and hits its head on the awning. And he's like, oh.
He's like the Three Stooges.
Yeah, and then like it falls down again, and then it finds like a seat, and so it like gets in the seat, and it just like relaxes, and then the dog starts barking, and he goes, and then like he like skimps off, and then it shoots back up. But
awesome.
it was one of the funniest videos. Like, if I find it, maybe we'll put it up at the end of this episode just so you guys can watch
TikTok,
some good shit.
YouTube, people out there, you guys
was
are good.
funny.
Always playing on that. You might
It
as
was
well.
good.
We're gonna play with it now. But again, thank you guys for joining us for another week of World of Unknown, our Jersey Drones, man. Do you have anything else to bring up?
Nah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a happy New Year and Christmas and stuff. We're just coming right after this. And again, we're going to try to get stuff out as soon as possible. So please write in, tell us your thoughts, comments. If you got any ideas for topics or anything, please write in. And we will get back to you next time, right?
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.